You just found the perfect product that helps with staying cool during hot summer runs. No more gross warm water. Stay cool with this product from Gear Handle. This hydration tube cover helps keep your water cool and easily accessible. Stay hydrated during those long summer runs or even delay from freezing in the winter. Plus, they're compatible with various brands of water bladders and come in various colors. Visit gearhandle.com and use promo code H2O today.
Hey everyone, you're listening to The Public Affair with me, Andrew G. I see someone different every episode, but do me a favor, keep it between us. Hey guys, what's going on? It's me, Andrew G, and welcome to another exciting episode of The Public Affair, one that I've been trying to put together for many, many weeks, darling. We've had to reschedule, but he's finally here. And I'm going to let you know well, you guys already know who it is because I do the announcements, but before we continue, I want to use this opportunity to thank Rogue Media Network, Mike, Allison. I can't remember the new guy's name, but he's out there recording us right now, but big shout out to you too, and everything that you guys do for The Public Affair. I truly appreciate it. Of course, to everybody that continues to like, share, subscribe, everything to The Public Affair, show all the love and unconditionally. You guys truly mean the world to me. Thank you so much. Before we continue, I have to have my mimosa in hand, and I just want to give a shout out to a few of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. Look, I drank before this. You know that, okay? Yeah. This episode is brought to us by Four Brothers Construction, my boy Joe Olvera, who provides custom home designs and renovations. He also focuses on roofing, remodeling, plumbing, tree removal, electrical work, and so much more, darling. Joe and his entire team of delicious men are building affordable dream homes for you. Call the number on the screen with my boy Joel Olvera of Four Brothers Construction, who has been a longtime sponsor. Thank you so much for all you do for me and the show, bro. Of course, the B&J Refinishing with my boy Frank Biza, who focuses on resurfacing bathtubs, counters, sinks, tiles, and more to your original showroom quality. He offers 5-year warranty on most work and has the best prices in town. My boy Frank is definitely an entrepreneur. He also has inflatables, a mechanical bull, margarita machines, tables, chairs, a foam machine, and so much more, making all your parties super duper lit. Let me tell you something. Frank is the epitome of a hustler. I love that guy. We've known each other since we were teenagers and we're total bosses now. Thank you so much for all you do for me, Frank. I truly, truly appreciate you. Of course, to David Santabanez with Alinea Real Estate. He's the #1 sales agent in his office. He's going to help you buy a home or sell your property. Make sure you follow him on Facebook at David with Alinea. I call the number on the screen, darling. For all your real estate needs, my boy David Santabanez is truly the GOAT. Definitely the #1 real estate agent in town amongst the others, and he is the best. I love that guy. Thank you so much for all you do for me, bro. Of course, the Pee-wee's Crab Cakes of Texas. Oh, I'm starving, Anika. I'm starving. Serving the most authentic Cajun cuisine with a wide selection of signature crab cakes, pasta, seafood, and more. Now, my favorite is the crabby seafood pasta with a little razzle-dazzle. You just change the penne pasta with the fettuccine. It's amazing. The top recommended is the sun-fried catfish special served with seafood, pasta, potato salad, and 6 fried shrimp. Now, the fish is topped with Who Dat sauce. Now, Christian, I'm not going to tell you what it is. You got to head over to 108 Jim Drive in Hewitt or order online at orderpeeweescrabcakeonthego.com. To my girl, Anika Armstrong, thank you so much for all you do for me in the Public Affair, girl. I truly appreciate you. Of course, the Waco fencing and stuff with my boy Juan Morales. Now, Juan builds privacy fences and chain link fences. That's perfect for all that extra at-home privacy, darling, in case you want to walk around any type of way. He also does demolitions, build wood decks, stone patios, and gorgeous flower beds. You can contact him with the number on the screen for your consultation. My boy Juan is definitely the GOAT. I truly appreciate all you do for me, bro. Thank you so much. Also, huge thanks to Waco Made Granite by Jay Perez and Henry Flores. They offer amazing granite quartz, countertops, backsplashes, and so much more, you guys. They're perfect for rentals or if you're flipping homes or if you just want something new and you want something fresh looking, all right? You can also mention this ad for exclusive Public Affair pricing, darling. That's right. Only $37 a square foot for level 1 material. You can't beat that. Waco Made Granite has the best pricing, darling. Call the number on the screen for a consultation or follow on Facebook at Waco Made LLC. Jay Perez, Henry Flores, thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, the Jimenez Bakery with my boy Enrique Jimenez. They're a local bakery specializing in a wide selection of fresh and affordable pan dulces, darling. They also have, oh my goodness. They also have the best tres leches cake for yourself or for a party. The mocha tres leches, that's my shit right there. I'm a whore for the mocha tres leches cake. Now, if you have a different type of craving, you can also get a cup of fresh elote. You get their locations are at 1915 Dutton in Waco and 302 West Elm Street in Hillsborough. To my boy Enrique Jimenez, thank you so much for all you do for me and the Public Affair, bro. I truly appreciate you. Thank you. All right, guys. Now, like I said, I've been really excited about having this next guest onto the show for quite a while. We had to reschedule once or twice. I got to take a sip for this one.
Cheers.
Reason why we're drinking mimosas is to pay homage from our first meeting. We had a business meeting, yes, a few weeks ago. No, probably like a month or two ago. Yes, and it turned into a very drunk, slutty time. And he is here to talk to us about his negative experience in the military, amongst other things, and how his life is going post since then. I am so excited to welcome Mr. Christian Lugo, Waco native, here on The Public Affair. How you doing, Christian, darling?
I'm doing good.
Yes.
How about yourself, man?
I'm feeling loosey-goosey right now. I feel like the first time we met, and then I found that you were married, so I had to close my legs.
Well, I mean, I'm glad you did. I'm really glad you did. So like Andrew said, for sure, when we first met, I met him, and it was more of a business.
It was supposed to be a business.
It was supposed to be a business meeting. But let me explain how overdressed I was and how underdressed he was. And then I was trying to backtrack because I was like, it was a business meeting, but then it turned into lunch and then brunch.
It was a brunch business meeting.
Right.
Because I like to do my business meetings over brunch now.
Okay.
Because I feel like that's how you get the real, like in a setting. I love brunch. If you guys don't know, brunch is like my thing. If you take me to brunch, I'm always down. I'm a brunch whore. And so when we met, yes, it turned into something else. Right. We didn't sleep with each other.
Thankfully.
Yes, I wanted to. But then he said he had a wife and she was picking him up. I was like, oh shit, hold on. Let me not fight. Because then I ended up meeting Rachel. I met the family. They were very kind. I loved them all. And you guys were so great.
And I will say, we actually moved pretty fast.
Yeah.
Usually, nobody will meet my family because I'm a very reserved person.
Okay.
But as you can see, the mimosas, whenever we were drinking.
That's it.
Yeah, it just opened up a whole different person. The business meeting went out.
It went out. It wasn't business anymore.
And then after that, it was just pure pleasure.
I know yes, it absolutely was. Now, you didn't give me the pleasure that I was seeking, but somebody else did, Christian. I will say that.
Well, I'm
somebody
glad
came
that
to my house and planted their seeds in my garden, and it was beautiful. We made music. Yes.
I'm glad someone topped you off.
They did. Thank you. Even though, yes.
You're welcome.
But you know what I thought was so cute, too? I cannot for the life of me remember what I did or said at Allie's Drive-In. We made a stop at Allie's Drive-In. I can't remember why we did that. I don't know what I was doing in there.
I apologize for everybody that worked at Allie's because that was just
they're one of my sponsors.
Well, yes, I know that's your sponsor. So again, just want to apologize for whoever was at Allie's on this random particular day.
Yeah.
You have someone like Andrew and someone like me, just like on this path, not even a path of destruction. It's not in a negative way. We were just out of there, and thankfully, we were very safe.
Listen, Allie's is one of my driving. They fucks with me. They know that. Let me tell you something. Alexis has watched this show from episode 1. He's a fan. You know what I mean? Now, I don't think he was there. I just can't remember if I said anything that was. They're still sponsoring, so I didn't do anything too bad. That's good.
Right. No, and that was awesome. I mean, obviously, they're one of the sponsors, so getting there, it was like, okay, what happened? Them. I don't know what happened.
I don't remember
what happened in the conversation.
Yes. All I know was that the conversation got super slutty very quick. Anyway, so Christian, I'm really glad that you're happy. I'm really happy that you're here. We've kind of changed the direction on how I wanted to take this episode just last night because you were a financial advisor, which you just stopped, but there was so much more that I wanted to talk to you amongst all of that, because I know you spent some time in the military. I know it wasn't the best experience, and we're mostly sold for it to be the best experience, and that's how, like, one of the easiest ways to turn our lives around and stuff like that, which we're going to get into in a minute. But, for people who may not know who you are, Christian, can you please explain to us a little bit about you and your life growing up? First of all, and shout out to your parents, because I love them. They were so kind to me in their house. Yes, for sure.
So first off, obviously, my name is Christian Lugo, born and raised here in Waco, Texas.
You can talk to me.
Wait, I'm sorry. I'm just looking at the
camera. You're looking at the camera. You can talk to them if you want to, too, but look, I wore these jeans just for you.
Really? Well, I expected more holes.
Oh, you were? Did you want me to wear the shorts that go up to here for everybody?
Just like we did our meeting, the shorts.
Stop, I got to change. I got to go home and change.
Yeah, please let him go home and change. No, but like I was saying, Andrew, so I'm born here in Waco, Waco native, went to university, graduated in 2009.
Oh, okay.
High school itself was just, high school was fun for me.
Yeah. Were you slutty?
That's
okay. We love Rachel. Shout out Rachel. Yeah.
Well, no, it's not even that, dude. Like, honestly, like, I love my wife. She knows how honest I am. She knows my whole truth. So, like, not worried about that at all. But high school was kind of difficult for me, man. Because when you're like the face, I'm not gonna say face of the soccer team because I'm not gonna take away from everybody. Because in 2009 we had some good players.
Okay, you had Wormy in there. He's pro.
Right, exactly.
So,
Wormy. I think Wormy was like a sophomore, maybe junior at that time.
Okay.
We only had like 4 or 5 seniors, and it was like It was kind of difficult because you have 5 seniors who want to win state.
Yeah.
And then you have junior sophomores, a couple of freshmen. And so, like, that becomes a little bit more difficult, right? To make the goal the state championship if 5 of us won it, but then the others don't.
Okay. You sound like you still hold some resentment. It's been 15 years, Christian. I graduated in 2019.
If there's anybody that went to university and played soccer and they did not go far in playoffs, I promise you that probably still bothers them till this day.
So it was like, soccer was like a religion at university.
Soccer was my escape. Soccer was my religion. Soccer, I breathed it, eat it.
Yeah.
Everything, man. Soccer was it because.
Did you have sex with soccer?
Yeah, there was a ball. My soccer bag was
unprotected
beside me
sex with soccer. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. You know how high school years are totally unprotected.
I got you.
But no, like I said, it was difficult, man, because people saw a face, right, and all they saw was like a smile, and I was happy. But those were actually some of the darkest times.
Really, what was going on, Christian?
Well, I mean, so, dude, I was struggling, man.
Yeah. I was mentally?
I was struggling mentally to like just perform at a top level because I also ran cross country in high school.
Yes. Okay.
So Coach Chapman, R.I.P. Coach Chapman, like he played a huge impact in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure he played an impact in a lot of people's lives.
Okay.
Man, I was struggling and it made it real difficult because I was drinking at a young age. I started drinking at 12. I started drinking at 12 years old. I was going to Mexico for the summers.
So they drink when they're 5. Yeah, believe me, I was there. Okay, we were sending the 5-year-olds to get us beer. I was like, "What is this? What is this?" So
in Mexico, right? You start drinking young, man, and
absolutely
out there, life is a little bit different. And so I started drinking at a very young age, 12, 13.
Okay,
and then that also followed me. It followed me back, but my parents didn't know that I was drinking. Like they had no idea.
You think they didn't know, or you think they were playing stupid? Because your parents don't strike me as stupid. They strike me as they know what's popping.
Right. So I'm pretty sure they probably knew what was going on, but it was probably one of those awkward, like, man, we don't really want to confront it because if we confront it, then it may open this whole box of just unknown stuff.
Okay.
So maybe they just weren't ready to open that box yet.
Yeah.
And the reason why I think that is why I was struggling was because my dad, he almost passed away.
Oh, wow.
Whenever, let me see, I was probably in 8th grade. My brother I was in 6th grade. My brother was in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Or actually, he was in high school. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Getting my dates mixed
Whatever
up.
the details of time were.
Right, but whatever the details, right? Where I apologize because obviously it's something very traumatic that happened in my life, and I can't put a date on it. But I found it very difficult because my dad almost passed away because he had an aneurysm.
Oh.
Right? And he lived with this aneurysm for about like a week.
Oh, wow.
For like a week.
Yeah.
Usually, like, if you look at, like, the studies and stuff, it's like a day or two, or even sudden, people pass away. Yeah, man. And so he had, like, this major surgery, and, like, seeing him at Parkland Hospital in Dallas when I was so young, like, my teenage years.
Yeah.
You know, that.
It fucked you up.
Because I just almost lost someone who was very important to me. You
For
know,
sure.
Like, the only male role model that I know besides my grandpa who passed away as well.
Yeah.
But when I almost lost him, I mean, it was kind of surreal because, you know, he was the only person that was he was the go-getter. He was doing that work. My mom stayed at home.
Okay, got you.
Took care of us. So, like, now that he
was carrying the family, if you will.
Right, yeah.
Yes.
He was he was the caregiver, man. And so, like, it was difficult because we lost that.
Yes.
You know, and seeing, like, this person who you think is strong and indestructible laying in a hospital bed with, like, you know, stitches and cuts and, like, you know, can't talk, like, that was difficult.
That was hard.
It was heavy for my mom, and it was heavy for us because we're still trying to go to school.
Yeah.
And then we didn't even know, like, where is the next meal going to come from.
Okay. So, well, because mom's not working, and everybody
mom had to be at the hospital with
all the time. Yeah, so who's working?
And and who was taking care of us? It was my grandma from Mexico.
Okay.
And thankfully, she's still alive to this day. She
Shout
has
out to
dementia.
Grandma Mexico. Okay.
Yeah, grandma. I mean, she's living with my mom. My mom takes care of her. She has dementia.
Okay. That's a hard thing to see too, though. Dementia, Alzheimer's is terrible. It's terrible,
man. Like, my grandma sits there and she's like, "Hey, how are you?" And I'm like, "I'm good." And then she forgets and she's like, "Hey, how are you? And who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh, it's me, Christian."
It's Christian.
You know,
Yeah.
I've been going to
for sure
your house in Mexico.
Alzheimer's runs in my family.
Oh.
And so it's a horrible disease to see somebody go through.
Terrible,
yeah. Man. And anyway. Okay. So, you know, you're going through all that, right? And so you were drinking at 12, right? And then you start to stop. When that happened, did you pick it back up, or were you always drinking, or how did that work out?
So I picked up drinking, man, because you know, being a Hispanic family, I mean, everybody drinks. Uncles,
they do.
Aunts,
we talk about this. Yeah.
Everybody drinks. Everybody fights. Everybody has their own ways, right? But everybody loves each other.
Yeah.
For me, right, coming back to the States, I can't. My grandpa had a store in Mexico.
Yeah.
So getting alcohol in Mexico, even if I went to go buy, it wasn't a problem.
Yeah, it wasn't nothing.
When you come here, it becomes a little bit more difficult, right?
Yeah,
You're like, okay, I can tell you're like 13.
Yeah. But in Mexico, they just don't care. I know that's not anything to joke about, but it was so crazy to me that we were sending the kids to go get us our liquor and our beer, and I was like, what? And they're coming back with the six packs and everything, and I was like, this is like Mexico. First of all, beautiful country, beautiful country, but it's some different shit going on in Mexico.
Dude, I'm telling you, it's because life is different, man.
It's just so different.
Everything is not handed to you, even to go to school. For example, my dad, he came to the United States at like 17. Okay. He only went to like middle school. Yeah. But like they have to pay for uniforms. They have to pay for supplies and stuff. And so his family at that time didn't have it. And so the dream, whenever he was 18, was obviously, I need to get across the border, get to the United States, and start working.
And start a life. Yeah, for sure. Okay, got you. Did you ever feel like, you know, with all that going on, not did you ever feel like, but how were you able to eventually overcome, you know, your dad going through that? Because he's alive and well now. You know what I mean?
Alive.
Yeah.
Kind of well. But yeah, so obviously my dad is still alive. He carries those scars with him every day. I think it was just watching how people around me came together for us. Okay. Because like I said, nobody was working. Grandma came from Mexico to take care of me, my brother, and my sister. Yeah. On top of that, we're all still going to school. So how are we getting to school? You know, so I used to get picked up by a bus out there in Kendrick Elementary. It's where me and my sister and my brother used to go every day to get picked up. But once my brother got to high school, you know, it was really just me and my sister. Yeah. So I think I overcame it again, just watching everybody get together. Okay. So you guys had a pretty good family dynamic. Well, for the most part. So yes. So our family did help. But mostly it was my teachers at my school. Oh, really? Yeah. That surprisingly like just came like out of nowhere. They did like food drives, hand drives, for sure. And then you know, to like raise money and yes. And my teacher, her name is Robin McDurham. I believe she used to be like on the Waco City Council. But shout out to Robin McDurham who like helped out my family and Miss Diabri. I apologize, I don't remember your first name, but the teachers really came together for like our family and like this whole like food drive and stuff. Yeah, and, like, they were always checking on us and taking donations to get my mom because she was staying at Parkland and the only thing that she was eating out of was like a vending machine. So, so my mom was sleeping over there, vending machine, and so just watching everybody come together, man, I think it really helped me out so much. And that's how you know your mom is loyal too. She stuck by her mans. Oh well, hey, they ain't sticking by their mans these days. I am. I'm telling you, man. Mexico women are different, man. They all stick with their man through thick and thin. It's not like that's it. They are. They sure will. Nowadays, you get sick and it's like you in the hospital. All right, I'm out. Well, for full disclosure, Christian, I'm not Mexican, but I'm very loyal too. Okay, I am very loyal as well, darling. You know what? So did it affect you? Because you mentioned that, you know, I guess back in the day you played soccer with like the best of them. You know what I mean? And so was it affecting your performance on the field and stuff like that? Like going through all this, and give me your glass while you talk so I can pour you up some more. Okay. So yeah, man. So it became difficult because. So when my dad had this aneurysm, my brother, he had to be in high school, and I think I was in middle school. Yeah. But I would hang out with my brother a lot and his friends, and then one of my cousins. Yes. He's a coach at university. What's his name? Ricky Perez. Oh, shout out Ricky Perez. Yeah, Coach Perez is a family cousin of ours, and so like he knew that I was going to go to the school coming into ninth grade. Coach Chapman knew I was coming in, and there was a lot of good players already at university, right? Yeah. So I had this like goal set in my mind that like my freshman year I'm gonna make varsity. I'm gonna play. You're gonna play, yeah. Right, and so like my first year, like once I get to university, and I went to the old university, the one right here where that Bubba's and everything. Yeah, like it was like little portable buildings, wasn't it? Watching it get into, like now it's like this immaculate. It looks like a freaking college now. Dude, yeah, it's watching beautiful. It go down hurt me so bad. Really, I was like, man, maybe my son can go to that high school. Please, he can still go there. So okay, much. It's beautiful. Yes, of course. But no. So how I overcame it was. Putting in all my effort into just everything, right? Like I couldn't, I guess you could put your anger into like punching a wall or something like that. But I just really put it in the game. Into the game. Okay. And then in cross country. And the thing about me, bro, is I'm very like, I don't like to lose, right? And so like, this was the secret to winning in cross country because I never ran distance before. I never ran cross country. I never did track, never did anything like that. But Coach Chapman was like, okay, well, everybody who plays soccer has to run cross country, so that way you get your cardio and you do the cross country season.
I see what's going on. Mm-hmm.
And then right after cross country starts soccer season.
No days off.
Yeah.
So
it was kind of one of those deals. So
I don't know Coach Chapman. Is this the gentleman, the older gentleman that passed away some years ago?
Older white gentleman. Bald. He passed away.
A lot of people. I've had a lot of respect for. I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Just so I can get some context in my head. Okay.
No, it's all good. And it's awesome because you get to see like. However, how many different people you interview, but somebody can always say that Coach Chapman was probably like someone who like impacted their life.
For sure.
And Coach Chapman was that for me because my freshman year, I went to their office
and
I said, "Hey, I want to be captain of the varsity team as a freshman."
Yeah,
I know that's never been done. I know that's not.
Shit.
But like I believed in myself so much because at this time I'm playing select soccer. I've been coached by his name is Steve Firth. Shout out to Steve Firth. He came from the UK, started coaching our team.
Is he hot?
He's pretty tall.
Some of those, yes. Okay, then he's hot, yes.
This guy's like 6'7" with a British accent.
Slide in my DMs, Coach Ehrman, whatever his name is. What's his name?
Steve Firth.
Steve Firth.
Yeah, I think he's out there coaching.
You can get this Firth. Here.
But you can get this filth Firth.
It's not filth. Don't you ever say that. This is not filth down here, Christian. Okay, this is a diamond mine. How dare you? Okay. No, okay, so Coach Firth.
So like I said, I went to them and I was like, hey, I want to be captain, blah, 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 blah. I knew that wasn't going to happen, but I really wanted to set the tone with the coaches.
Yeah. Like,
so they knew that, like, okay, this guy means business. Like,
for sure.
Hopefully they don't treat. I was like, hopefully they don't treat me like every other freshman because it was like, if you're a freshman, you're going to be on JV. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
Right. And so, lo and behold, I ended up on JV.
Yeah.
And so, like, I'm pissed because I'm like, man, I'm so much better than this.
Okay.
So much better than this. But actually, I think it helped me out because I believed in myself so much that I think it took away from believing in the team. Right. So like, that like there's no I in team.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, it sounded like you were very kind of full of yourself back in the day. Right, did it teach you humility?
Right. Well, so
do you think that was their goal? Like, don't come in here trying to act like you hot shit. Yeah.
100%. That was their goal because they know, looking at me, right? I'm at, what am I, like 15, 16 at this time?
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm trying to make a statement to these grown men. But
yes.
they also know that he's trying to make a statement. We need to make a statement back.
Okay.
And put him in his place by not letting him be it. Because if we let him be on varsity, then from then on, I win that battle every day with the coach.
Well, and it may have been a test of wills, too. Like, let's teach him at a very young age that, you have to work for something like that. Right. You don't get to come in here and say, you make demands. You know what I mean? And people don't learn that in life. They don't. People don't. Want everything handed to them.
Right. People don't. But my grandpa, who, again, played a very important role in my life as well. My grandpa, his name is Samuel Zuniga.
For sure.
Like, I spent a lot of time with him in Mexico. I spent a lot of time when he came to the United States.
Okay.
So he brought me up on humility, but it was also just believing in yourself.
Gotcha.
Because some people confuse confidence with what's that word?
Arrogance?
Arrogance.
Yes.
Or cockiness.
Cockiness,
people, yeah. People will say, well, you're cocky, but it's like, well, I'm cocky because I believe in myself.
Right, for sure.
You can take it that way, but I really do believe in myself that I can really do it.
Yeah, for sure.
So the coaches, they shut that down immediately.
Yeah.
On JV, but what I learned on JV, I always try and take everything like, okay, I'm gonna learn something from this experience, right? And so what can I take out? And it was more like, okay, let me focus on being a good captain to the guys on JV. To I want them to be better. I want us to be good, and it was kind of taking myself out of that mentality of, it's not just about me; it's about making others better as well.
For sure.
And so come my sophomore year, now I'm on varsity.
Okay.
Sophomore, junior.
Okay. So you were a pretty lit soccer player.
Yeah.
Everything. Okay.
I mean, I was pretty good.
You were pretty good.
It sucks because everybody will say, "Well, I was pretty good," but I was pretty good.
Yeah.
I would say that I was pretty good, man. I had an opportunity to try and make it out, but everybody has that story of trying to make it out, and then they don't.
I don't know why with this podcast I've become so involved in the soccer world.
Dude.
I don't know what happened.
Because you work with soccer guys.
I guess I do. And let me tell you something. I love sometimes going to the soccer games because they be fine as fuck. Not the guys. I'm talking about the other guys.
Oh, I was gonna say the girls, but okay.
No. I don't go watch no girls play no damn soccer.
I thought girls.
Yeah, no. Anyway, you know what, Christian? I want to fast forward. So I want to get right into the Navy. Okay, so you went to the Navy. Okay, and when we were talking on the phone, I didn't want you to give me. I don't like it when they give me like the answers to everything because I like to get everything on the show. And so you were saying that it was a pretty toxic environment for you to be in.
So I will say, yeah. So I joined the Navy at 24.
Yes.
At this time, let's see what was going on. I had graduated from NCC.
Mm-hmm.
I got like a certificate in computer information systems.
Yeah.
And I applied for this position at like this Walmart distribution center. I was already working there. I was working on the floor.
Yeah.
Just doing normal
No, you were
stuff.
working. You were going to college.
And I was going to college. And then finally, once I got that degree certificate, I applied for a technical coordinator position, which is, office. You're in the office. You're in AC,
that's with Walmart? With Walmart?
With the distribution center.
Okay.
And here's the thing. My dad worked there as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah, so
I can't work with my family. Fuck that.
Well, I thought the same thing, but me and my dad didn't see each other because one thing that affects me a lot, right, is I don't like working with family because I don't like seeing my dad work hard. Because I feel like I need to go help my dad.
Okay.
So like I would leave like my position.
Yeah.
Go check on my dad, see if he need anything.
For sure.
And then come back. So when I applied for the job, and they were moving me into the office, man, that kind of hit me because I was like, on hot days, my dad is still going to be out there on the
gotcha.
trucks.
So it's bothering you because you're seeing your dad work too hard, but you're working with your dad, and you don't feel like he should be working as hard as you. Is that what you're thinking?
Yeah.
Okay.
If it was up to me, man, I wish my dad could just retire, relax, and then
Is he still working now?
Still working now.
He's still working now. Maybe that's just installed in him, though.
Well, it is.
Yeah.
He's always worked like when he got here, like he started working at Fleetwood. Fleetwood in the early '90s, when my dad used to say, like Fleetwood, like I don't even know what it is now, but it was like hard work.
For sure.
Like, I don't know what they do, frame a house, build a house, or build trailer homes, whatever. But
something difficult.
Yeah, dude. But these guys, like my dad loved working with his hands. And man, like I would work with him, like at home doing home projects. But like, dude, I was never good with like grabbing a drill and like.
I'm not for the tools. I work with a bunch of technicians as well at my full-time job, and I'm very much like best dressed at my full-time. I work with a lot of the soccer guys. But okay, so you're doing that, and then military.
Right, yeah. And then after that, I'm sitting there at my desk, man, and this thought just comes to my mind. Like, I've always wanted to serve.
Okay.
I always felt like I owed, man, this still sounds so weird. But, so in World War II, right, I was so interested in World War II.
Okay.
And I seen how many people lost their lives at so young.
Okay.
And so they, like, knowing about that, like, so young, and then reading about it, and it's like, man, these people went to war. They gave their life for their country. Like, that's something bigger than them.
So you wanted to follow suit.
So I've always carried that. And then finally when I graduated, and I was sitting there at my computer, I was sending like an email.
Yeah.
And then something just was like, this is it, man. This is your life. Working Tuesday through Friday, getting paid pretty good.
Yeah.
And you sit in the office and you chill all day.
Wait, I need that job. Hold on a second. That sounds better than going to war.
Well, trust.
But you wanted more.
But I thought there was more to life because I'm 34, and and I've always had this thought that like when I'm 75, when I'm 75 and I'm old and I'm sitting on the couch, I want to look back on my life and say, did I do everything that I wanted to do?
Okay, gotcha.
Right,
yes.
And then I never wanted to have regrets.
For sure.
So I'd ask myself, like, when I sit on that couch, am I gonna say, I should have joined the Navy? Am I going to carry that regret?
Well, and you know what? That's great too, because we all begging for that Tuesday to Friday schedule.
Bro,
you know what I mean? With the weekends off and Monday, bitch. You know what I mean? Hold on, sorry.
I'm telling you, man,
we're applying to Walmart right now. Okay.
Yeah, Walmart distribution.
We're going to Walmart distribution center. We're going to work Tuesday to Friday, and I'm going to be slutty Saturday to Monday. Okay. So you end up joining the Navy. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay.
I was a recruiter's dream, man. Nobody had to come search me out. I actually searched them out.
A recruiter came and picked me up at my house in high school one time.
Picked you up.
Yeah. I thought that was a little weird too, but he was kind of hot. But I was underage. So I didn't want to try anything. You know what I mean? But like he was kind of cute, and he picked me up from my house to recruit me into the military. I'm sure it happened to a lot of us, and they were mad at me for not like taking the test serious.
The ASVAB?
I don't know what the fuck it was. I was like, I didn't want to do this to begin with. Why you picked me up? He was like, you're never. Well, and let me. You know what? Shout out to that bitch too. Let me tell you something. He said I was never going to amount to anything in life. And welcome to the public affair, bitch. How about that? Okay, fuck that guy. He says you are never going to learn anything because you don't take nothing serious. It's like I have a podcast.
You ever heard of FTP?
Fucking what?
Fuck that puto.
No. He did. He fucking made me feel like shit, bitch. I was a sophomore. I was in pajamas and they came pick me up. He said, you're going to go to Afghanistan and you're going to play Xbox all day.
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't like X. Yeah, I was going to say, yeah, right. Go ahead. Elaborate. Go.
Right. Yeah, so after that, man, I went to the recruiter's office and I said, hey, this is what I want to do and I want to do it. And how am I going to go about it? They were kind of taken back because not everybody walks into the recruiter's office and says, this is what I want to do.
Okay.
And I've already looked it up and I've already researched it. This is what I want to do. So they were kind of like, okay, cool. Like, whoa, calm down. There is a process.
Like you haven't even got to level 1. What's going on here?
I'm like, no, like let me go tomorrow.
Yes.
So at that time, 24, I was like, okay, went in there, told them, they're like, okay, there's a process to this.
Got you.
We want to know if you're serious. I was like, I wouldn't be serious if I didn't come here.
Right.
I came looking for you.
We ain't wasting time.
Call me. Yeah.
Yes.
What are we doing? And so from there, man, like it took me 9 months.
To get in?
To get in.
I thought they just wanted you.
No, it wasn't like that because I was trying to go for a certain job that required you to have like certain you needed certain numbers when you do like this physical test.
Oh.
And so like I was like at Gold's Gym, man. Like, 4 a.m. I was there working out. I'd go to work in the office, not do much, just get paid. Then as soon as I'm off, I'm out running in like Texas heat with the sweatsuit on. Then I'm going to go.
Oh, so you were trying to get in shape.
Yeah, like I was already in shape. I was just trying to get to the pinnacle of like what in shape was for me. Because once a goal's put in my head,
that's it.
I'm going for it.
You're going for it. Okay.
Dude, I even went sober those 9 months.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Like, that's how dedicated I became to it. Right.
Like not drinking, no partying, no nothing.
Drinking, no. It was just get up at 4, go work out.
All I want to do in the military is be the decoy that has to go to the terrorist. I'll sleep with the main terrorist guy, right? And then you guys come in for the kill. That's all I want to do in the military. I don't need to be fit for that. You know what I mean? I got people in my DMs right now for this pudge.
Well, yeah. Well,
it's big boy season. Well, I'm not big boy anymore.
How did we think about that?
Huh?
Why didn't we think about sending you? Like you could
Hello?
be like a spy.
We would have been killed. Whoever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like.
Sure.
Guys, I make the perfect decoy. Look at this. I'm a snack. I'm a whole meal. We should have sent me as a Saudi like decoy. I'm not playing no fucking games. I'm being for real. Like we could have went in there. We would have had. Listen, I would have gotten the. No, let me not. Because everybody that gets the Purple Heart deserves it. So yeah. I'm not playing with that.
Here's the thing though. Like veterans will tell you that when somebody sees a Purple Heart, you may feel like, okay, they deserve that. But us in the military, we're just like. You were just the last one that got shot. I mean,
wait. So you have different opinions.
Everybody was on the way out. You were the slowest one. So.
Oh my God. Okay. You know what, Christian? Listen, Christian. I have so many questions about the military. Okay, and listen, everybody's experience with the military is different. You know, and let me take this opportunity before we go to break to say that I support the troops. I am grateful for the troops because I can't do something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like, and the fact that people are brave enough to go out there and defend our country in different countries and go to war like that, I commend you. I am going to support you 100%. I just, full disclosure, I just want to say that before I start making jokes, because I'm going to make some jokes. You know what I mean? And people like you know what I mean?
And
to the veterans, absolutely.
Us veterans, man, we have a different, what is it? We have a different, the way that we talk to each other is very different, right? Yeah. We may say something to each other like, hey, what's up, motherfucker? And somebody may take that different.
Yeah.
But somebody like, when you're in the military, you can be like, "Hey, what's up, motherfucker?"
So if I go to the military, they're gonna call me a bitch and a fag.
They probably will, but they don't mean any. But they don't mean.
I'm joining the public affairs canceled.
But they don't mean any. But it's like not any harm. It's like they accept who you are. They're just gonna give you a nickname off of that. But it's like no harm, no foul.
I want to be Sergeant Fag. That's all I want to be, is Sergeant Fag, and sent me in as a decoy to sleep with the enemy and then snipe them. Yeah. Listen, there you go, Christian.
That could definitely be you.
I've got tons of questions about the military because I know you didn't have the best experience in there. But we're going to take a little break, okay? And when we get back, we're going to learn more with Christian Lugo about his time in the military, his negative experience in the military, and what was really going on behind the scenes. He's going to give us all the dirt here on the Public Affair, so make sure you guys stay tuned in. Hey guys, I hope you're enjoying this really, really special episode of the Public Affair with my very special guest, Mr. Christian Lugo. Before we continue, I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of the Public Affair. This episode is brought to us by the Queen, Ms. Juliana Resendez with JR Renovations. She's a general contractor specializing in commercial businesses and residential homes. She's a true queen, leveling the playing field in a male-dominated industry, Dolly. You can follow on Facebook and Instagram at JR Renovations or call the number on the screen. My girl, let me tell you something about Juliana. Juliana has had a wall of shit just recently fall on her, and I just have so much respect for her. She is over there handling it like a true queen that she is. I want to like emulate my work ethics from her. Juliana, thank you so much for all the support that you give the Public Affair. I truly, truly appreciate you, girl. And you know that I'm here for you. That's all. I just want to use this opportunity to say that. That girl, you know, she's got a friend in me. That's it. Of course, the Banda's hauling service with Julian and Ana Banda. They rent dump trailers. You fill it up and they haul it away, darling. Your car breaks down. You call Banda's hauling service with Julian and Ana Banda. My car broke down. He came and got me. He said I'm going to be there in 20 minutes. He was there in 10 minutes. They also do junk removals and tree brush removals and haul cars in and out of town, darling. Book now with the number on the screen to Julian and Ana Banda. Thank you guys so much for all you do for me in the Public Affair. And I just want to say that I'm truly, truly, truly grateful to see how much your business has grown with Banda's Hauling Service. Congratulations to you guys. You guys deserve everything. Of course, the Embrace Fitness with Lisette Luna and Amanda Switzer, those snacks. They teach group fitness classes that are fun and dynamic, darling. Those girls are hot. They specialize in total body workouts by Escalate and by Jackie and Zumba Step. Classes are Monday through Thursday at 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. You can also contact them to rent the building that they use for parties and small events. Those girls right there, they're snackish. They want to make you look snackish. Embrace Fitness, thank you guys so much for all you do for me in the public affair. I truly, truly appreciate you. Y'all know we can't go on without thanking Allie's Driving with Alexis and Diana Rivas. We were just talking about them. Their convenience store located where the old Kobe's is in South Waco, darling, 2105 Dutton Avenue. You can stop by for delicious snacks or a cold drink. Now, if you need a beer for a party or yourself, they got you with a huge freezer stocked with a wide selection of ice cold beer. You can order from the kitchen too.
Huge freezer, lot of beer.
Me and Christian went in there when I was drunk. Okay, they also have a delicious selection of food to satisfy your appetite or to go with that cold beer. Go there for Enchilada Friday and get it with the pig's feet. Get it with the pig's feet. I know pig's feet does not sound good, but I want you guys to get it. Mason, go get it with the pig's feet. Okay, you can stop by this monumental convenience spot in South Waco today to Allie's Drive-In. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my girl Nancy Pulsini with Parkway National Insurance, who provides insurance for all commercial trucks and tractor trailers. She also provides insurance for contractors along with home and auto insurance. Basically, for all your insurance inquiries, you got to hit my girl Nancy Pulsini with the number on the screen. Y habla español también. To my girl Nancy Pulsini, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. And of course, to one of the longest running sponsors of The Public Affair, who's made sure that I've looked super snackish for more than 120 episodes of the show, Mr. Sid Rodriguez with Elite Barbershop, located on Hewitt Drive. You can call the number on the screen or book the Squire app to book your next appointment. Now, you walk-ins are welcome as well. They have Marcus Guerrero, Chris Reyes, Santos Cordova, David Rodriguez, Isaac Chavez, Clint Fletcher, Isai, all snacks, making you look like a snack too. Elite Barbershop, basically when you go to Elite Barbershop, you're gonna look like a snack like me. And then like you should go there because Clint cut my hair and then I got laid the next day. I'm just gonna say that. Yes, I did. Okay, Clint cut my hair and Sid too. Sid, when he cuts my hair, I get laid all the time. Thank Elite Barbershop. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. All right, guys, we're gonna get right back into it with my very special guest, Mr. Christian Lugo, here on The Public Affair. Finally, I'm so excited that he's here. Here we go, guys. Christian, darling.
Yes, sir.
Before the break, we were just talking about your military experience,
yes,
okay? And we were talking about me being a decoy, blah, blah, blah. But, you know, when we were on the phone, and I didn't want you to get too into it when we were on the phone because I like to, I don't like rehearsing the show.
Right.
Okay? And so you said that your experience, and listen, everybody's experience with the military is different. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And listen, big shout out to like my friend Manny Palomino, who served in this country, and you know, everybody who served in this country. Like I said, I'm a big supporter for the troops. You guys do something that people like me just don't have. I don't have the heart. I don't have the courage. You know what I mean? And people like them, they go out of the country, they defend this country, they make sure that we get to do things like I get to do this. You guys have my 100% unconditional support, 100%. Now, your experience was a little bit different inside the military. Can you walk me through that?
Yeah. So again, mine wasn't different because I'm joining at 24, right? So at 24, I have I would say life experience, you know, like I was already going to college. I had just finished. I just applied for this job. And so like, it's a pretty big position with not much to do.
Yeah.
So I joined the military, right? And then the big shock for me, it was tough because I was the first person out of my family to join the military.
Okay.
And Hispanics, man, like I don't know if you've ever been in the world of Hispanics and military. It's kind of it was a difficult conversation to have with my parents, but it was kind of one of those where it's like they knew me to where he's gonna do this.
Yeah.
So we either have to get on board with it, or we say we don't support you, and Christian is still gonna do it regardless.
Got you. Was your family supportive, like your parents?
So at first it was difficult.
Okay.
But they know me.
Yeah.
They know me very well.
Like you're gonna do
if you don't support me,
okay,
I'm still gonna.
You're gonna do it
Right,
regardless.
I'm gonna do it
I got
regardless.
you.
So it's kind of just better just support them and say, hey, go
just
for it.
Don't even fight it. Just do it. Yeah. Okay.
And that's how I've been.
Yeah.
Right? That's how I've been. Okay. So
who's next to you? What's going on there?
I can't tell you who's next to me. If you can't see him, then sorry, man.
Is that your imaginary friend?
Yeah, it is right here.
Is he cute?
Sitting close to me, she is.
She's cute,
nice.
Bitch.
Sorry, I'm over here like I'm just touching the air, man, dude. I'm
looking ass.
What is in the mimosas, dude?
It's Andrew G's special recipe.
Right,
you know what's cute? He's talking about it's like a Jeffrey Dahmer moment because we watched the Dahmer documentary. Yeah. Listen, I'll do everything except kill you. Okay, or I'm not gonna drug you or kill you, but absolutely when you come to my house and we're drinking, we're fucking. Absolutely. I don't give a fuck. You're not coming to my house and drinking and we're not fucking. That's not going to happen. Okay. All right? Yeah. Okay. Anyway.
Noted. But
I'll sit over there next to you if you want me to, Christian.
Okay. I mean, hey, dude, it's up to you because I'm over here just grabbing.
No, Rachel will fight me. Rachel looks like she's quiet, but she's deadly too. She looks like she'll fight.
Man, she is
Love
like
her.
the complete opposite of me, man. Like when I talk about introvert and extrovert.
Yes.
Two opposites.
She was so kind though. Shout out to Rachel. Girl, I love you. Yes, that's it.
She is the whole angel in this.
That's it.
I don't know how in the world I haven't gotten in trouble, and that's all due to her because she keeps me like very in check.
She keeps you in check. Okay,
dude,
got
like,
you.
I tell you, man, like I should have been in jail so many times, and I'm not.
That you know, you got a loyal bitch behind you, and that's what's wrong with you bitches. Y'all ain't loyal. That's what I'm talking about. Bitches like Rachel's loyal.
Man,
she's loyal. Rachel come get her man. When we were at brunch, she came, made sure that she took the car from her man.
Yeah,
she sure did. You ain't driving. She met us at the house. I drove him. I don't know how I drove him, but I did. Anyway, we're getting off topic. Okay. So you're 24 years old. You joined the military. Right. Okay. And so you're thinking, you know, a lot of people are not that they're supporting you, but they're like defaultly supporting you. They're just like, you know, this is what's going on. We're going to have to accept it. For my parents, it was
difficult because them being immigrants coming into a country, it was difficult because they're like, hey, the country doesn't even want us in here. You know, they don't even like us.
Oh, that's their view. Okay.
Right. And it was like, they don't, you know, the country doesn't like us. They want to kick us back to Mexico. Okay. But you're telling me that you want to go die for this country that doesn't want us.
Okay.
So that was the dilemma with my family. And I told them, I was like, look, I've always had this sense of purpose to like just serve.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to do the military. Now, I didn't do it at 18. I never was in NROTC, never was in JROTC or anything like that. And so I think once they heard like what it was about, I think they were kind of like, okay, this isn't just, you know, he doesn't know what's going on in life and he's going to go do it. It was more like, this is something that has been thought about. This has been something on his mind. Yeah. And I told you, for me, man, that vision of like being so old and sitting on the couch and looking back on my life and like saying, well, did I do everything that I wanted to do? Yes. Okay, I did. Right. You know, I did. And I don't want to have in Mexicans, we call it like a spina, like a thorn in our side or like a thorn in your foot. Yeah. You have to get that thorn out. Like, sácate la espina. You have to get it out, go do it. It works. So
you just felt like you had to go do it.
Yeah. For me, it was like, if I don't do it, I'm going to regret it for the rest of my life.
I got you. So is it a positive experience at first, though? Because, you know, here's the thing. We're all sold that when you get into the military, life for you is going to be easy after that. We're going to pay for everything. You know, you guys are never going to have a financial worry in the world, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, you have to go defend your country, which means going to war. And, you know, again, big shout out to everybody that's done that. I support the troops 100%. I want to make sure that if you guys don't know anything from this episode, that I am disclosing that I support the troops 100%. Y'all need anything from me? 1,000%. That's it. Y'all need anything from me, whether it be some money, a place to stay, this ass, I got you. All right. But no. Like, so for you, you know, you're sold in the dream, like, okay, I'm not going to have a financial worry in the world. I'm going to defend the country. Everything's going to be good. What's going on in the military, you know?
Okay. So for me, it was, once I got there, I finished boot camp. Boot camp was okay. It was tough for many people, but for me, it was like, okay, getting yelled at, working out, listening to people. Okay, I'm 24 years old. I'm with like 18, 19, for 21, 22.
Like kids.
Rarely will you have like a 27, 28, 30-year-old. It's very rare.
Well, at that point in our life, we ain't trying to do that shit.
Right. Yeah. Bro, trust me, I met a guy who was 35, ended up in the military.
35?
Yeah, at 35.
Is that cutoff age?
That's like right cutoff. So he got in at 35, cut off. Because just life wasn't going right for him. Okay, nice. So he got in. So hey, no harm, no foul. Good guy. That's it. Okay. So for me, it was like I got there, and then I think the biggest shock for me was having someone who was younger than me be in charge of me. Okay. Because I'm 24 years old. I'm a grown man. But you're telling me this 22-year-old who has higher rank, right? I'm in E3. This guy's like an E5, and he's like, hey, you know what I'm saying, like, you need to do X, Y, and Z, and you need to be home. You need to be back in the room by 8 p.m. That is your curfew. And I'm like,
8 p.m.
I'm like, whoa, hold on, like
that's when the side piece is coming over 8 p.m. What are you talking about?
And trust me, the military knows that like we like to drink, so they put bars on base. We had a bar on that base. So, like, for me,
I'm trying to go to that base.
Dude, Pensacola.
In Florida? In Florida?
Yeah, go to Pensacola.
Oh, here I come. Stop the cameras. I'm going to Pensacola right now.
That's
where my man's is. Okay.
It's called Portside, man. And let me tell you, man, on that, dude, I close my eyes because I have so many embarrassing moments at that place.
Oh, wow.
You got people who were just in boot camp.
Okay.
Right? You haven't touched alcohol. You haven't got wild in a month and a half. And then once you get out, it's like, hey, you're back on this base. There are rules, right? You have to be back phase 1, phase 2, phase 3, phase 3 being the highest, right? Phase 3 means you can sleep wherever you want so long as you show up the next morning.
Like I can be a side piece on phase 3.
Yeah, whoever gets there from boot camp, phase 1, you got to be in at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So you got to learn how to get drunk real quick, real fast, early.
To come back no problem. We day drink here. Hold on, wait. I'm taking notes, Christian. Go ahead. Let me get my Apple Pen. Here we go.
Why do you think most of us like veterans are like alcoholics? Well, because that's why. You're
getting drunk at 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
You're trying to get drunk before your curfew.
Right, which is 8 p.m.
And then after that, you go to phase 2, then it's 10 p.m. Now you're getting drunk early, faster, and now your curfew's at 10.
Okay, 10 p.m.
Once you get to phase 3, you get into that overnight.
Phase 3 is when I can become a side piece.
Right. Phase 3 is you're going to Pensacola Beach.
Okay.
You're already getting a room. Right? You're going to go out.
You're
going to get on Tinder.
Grinder.
Okay, Grinder. Well, I'm going to say Tinder for me. Tinder.
Grinder.
Swipe. Match. And then you match.
Okay.
Got the room.
I don't know what we're doing.
What we doing?
Now I got a side piece because I'm on phase 3.
Boom.
Boom. Okay, back to it. Anyway.
Phase 3. Side piece.
Okay, Allison's gonna love that when she edits this. Okay. So you're on phase 3, right?
Yep.
Okay.
So phase 3, and then from there, man, it's just let me tell you, man. The things that happen on that base in people's cars and dude, like you had like at this
Are they
point,
getting blowjobs? Are they getting blowjobs? Okay.
Let me tell you this. You were saying like the military, you're not gonna have to worry about much.
Well, that's what they sell us, Christian. With all due respect, you know what I mean.
But see, I'm coming at 24, as in I'm getting paid as an E3, and that's about $800
a week.
That's about 2 weeks.
Oh, that ain't shit though.
So E3, you're getting about $800. But here's a trick though, man, and I would tell everybody, here's a trick. If you join the military at 18 and you're married, dude, you're going to
you get more money. Yeah, that's why my cousin married so young. You
get money. On top of that, you're 18, then you own a house, you have a mortgage. Then that puts you ahead of the game of every other 18-year-old, right?
Okay, got you.
But that 18-year-old is probably going to make a career out of the military.
Yeah,
so
for
he's
sure.
going to do his 25 years, his 20 years. And then, he's going to be in charge of someone like me who's 24 that has real life experience.
But do you think that it was a pride thing for you? Because you even said that when you were in high school, you had a difficult time like settling for less and, all that jazz.
I wouldn't say it was pride. It was more trying to get back into the mentality of, I no longer make my rules as a civilian.
Okay.
Someone else is now making those rules
for you. Okay.
Right?
Yes. No, go ahead.
So, and once you start realizing that every single rule and everything that's coming, like, you have no control of your life or your time.
Gotcha.
And that's where the negative portion came in from, because I joined with no family. Like, me and Rachel, I think at that time we were separated.
Yeah.
Like, we've been together since we were 17, and then I think around 24, 23 is kind of when we separated to try to figure out who we were, because we were together for so long.
Yeah,
and it happens, right?
Yeah, for sure.
And that's something that I'm glad that me and my wife can talk about now openly, because back then, man, like if me and Rachel tried talking about this back then when it happened, dude, like, dude, I'm aggressive and I'm upset, but like we're so past that, and we've been so past that we can look back and be like, man, we needed to go through that
for sure
to make us so much more stronger.
Absolutely. You mentioned in your time in the military that they were kind of desensitized, for lack of a better term, to the outside world. So you mentioned that you struggled a lot with alcoholism. You met some people that were struggling with depression, and your personal experience, again, because I want to talk about your experience. For full disclosure purposes, this is not how the military is. This is Christian's
this
perspective.
Is my right.
Okay, so you felt like in your time in the military that they were very desensitized to those issues. So what was going on behind the scenes?
So what had happened is once I got through Pensacola, got through the school and everything, you get to your final like permanent duty station. That's what they call it in the Navy. Your permanent duty station. Once you get there, like this is where you're going to spend your time. For mine, it was a school, and in that school, man, like. It's exactly like college. Like you have a whole bunch of you put all these like young kids, right? And I say young, I'm 24.
Yes.
I ended up meeting somebody who's a little bit older than me, but like you put all these people in this group.
Yes.
And then what do you expect, right? We drink, we party.
Yeah,
like,
you guys
we
young.
We show up on time. We still show up on time. Hungover.
Oh, the kids ain't doing that these days, Christian.
Right.
They're not doing that these days, bitch.
Hey.
I'll go to work at the time I'm supposed to be there, drunk as fuck. Mason, take notes because I know you're young. Okay.
Yeah, okay. Mason. Yeah, take notes, man.
Take notes, all right.
Dude, I'm telling you, dude, because and that's one thing that we were doing, man. We had barracks. They gave us a place to stay for free.
Yeah.
Nobody was checking on us in this barracks, and like we have 2 rooms, and I'm talking about like me and my buddy. Shout out to Anthony Harper. We both struggled with alcoholism together, though.
Okay.
But like we were just bad for each other, because as soon as we got off on Friday,
yes,
it was like you buy a 24-pack, I buy a 24-pack.
So y'all were influencing each other.
Yes.
You know, and I feel bad because now we're gonna get into your alcoholism in the military, and we're drinking mimosas. Are you an alcoholic today?
So I would always I tell my wife this, and I accept it. It's like, well, I would say that I'm an alcoholic, because I can drink socially, I can drink to get crazy, I can drink to forget everything. But I would tell you, man, surprisingly, like now, I would say that I'm not an alcoholic because now I've moved into like the CBD.
Okay.
Like the THC.
You like the gummies. You were mentioning the gummies.
Dude,
Are you on gummies right now?
No, not at all.
You said you were going to bring the gummies.
Well, I said I was, but I wasn't. I wanted to have respect for you, for your show. To do this. Like,
I had Giovanni the King.
Kind of sober.
Bro, I had Giovanni the King on the show. He was eating his THC cookies. Like, get out of here. Yes.
Oh, okay.
I don't. Shout out to Giovanni the King. You're doing such great things, but I don't know what the fuck was going on.
Well, like I said, for me, I just, for respect for your show, respect out of you.
I appreciate that.
I was like, you know,
even though I'm a drunk, slutty mess right now.
No,
yes.
but see, and that, the thing about me is I would never turn down a drink. Like, if you offer a drink, I take that more as like, like that's a respecting, right? Like somebody's offering you a drink, you take it.
You take it.
And then you drink it.
Yeah, I'm
and
just pouring him up the most. But in your time in the military, like you mentioned that you told him that you were an alcoholic. So what was the response that you got?
Oh man, like that was like my darkest days, because I moved on from that school, and then I got to my actual command, and so my mom, man, this is so sad, dude. So my mom, she had cirrhosis of the liver.
Of the liver, okay.
Yeah, and so when I left for the Navy, I think my mom was just like barely getting checked for cirrhosis. And then once she got wind of cirrhosis, then she started her sobriety process.
Okay.
But then...
So she was drinking?
She was. Yeah,
she was drinking.
Okay. So after my dad had the aneurysm, then my mom picked up drinking heavy. Okay. And my dad... No longer. My dad used to be the drinker.
Right. And then she
became the drinker. He became...
It was like coping for her, though. Yeah.
Right.
Shout out to the mom, though, because she was so kind to me.
Yeah. And so,
very strong woman.
And I will shout out to my mom. Her name is Rosie Lugo Zuniga. She wants you guys. She knows that she would want everybody to know that she is a Zuniga, because apparently back in the 80s, like Zuniga was like.
Yeah. You know, y'all can't tell Rosie nothing, though. I met Rosie. I love that woman.
Yeah, Rosie will throw hands. Rosie will throw hands.
Rosie will throw hands at you. I know she is older.
For her grandkids, for her kids.
Okay, but she was thinking of drinking, so you're in the military. She's got cirrhosis of the liver.
She got cirrhosis of the liver. I'm getting this news while I'm in the Navy. And again, right, your time is no longer your time. Somebody controls your time.
For sure.
So once my mom started getting sick, that's whenever, like, I didn't know who to reach out to. I didn't know who to talk to. Like, and I'm not going to say that was like on my command, the place that I was at. I didn't know these resources because they gave us these resources, but it was almost like the people that were in those positions, I felt like I could not go talk to, because in the military, in the Navy, like if you don't have collateral duties, which is some of these positions are just a secondary job to their primary job, like they won't pick up rank. So some people are doing this just for the points to pick up rank, to move up and, you know, in their career and get higher pay, which I get that, right? But like if you're in that position, you also have to be empathetic to people who come to you and say, I have issues.
Absolutely.
Instead of being like, you have issues. Well, I have issues too, buddy. So
but like get over it.
Get over it and move on. And so
is that what happened to you?
I would say it was like that, but on it was like times 10, because I can deal with my own issues.
Absolutely.
I can deal with my own feelings, right?
Yeah.
But I didn't know how to deal with like my mom almost losing her life, because my mom got put in a breathing tube. She was in the hospital. And it was like, what am I doing in Norfolk, Virginia right now when my mom is like going through this, when I should be in Waco, Texas? And so I can't just be like, hey, I bought a plane ticket to Waco, Texas to go see my mom.
You have to like ask for permission.
You have to ask for permission.
Okay.
But the military would tell you that the mission comes first. So if we have exercises, we have something going on, and you need to be on that because you still have to get qualified in your job. You have a job, you have to get qualified in your job. And so I started falling behind the qualifications because I started drinking. I didn't know how to cope with my mom. I didn't know how to talk about it because coming from a Mexican family, you don't talk about issues.
For sure.
You kind of walk away, you deal with it on your own.
That goes back into mental health. Like we talked about on the show. Like as Hispanics, we're not allowed to talk about that. We're not allowed
health,
to,
man. Yes. Like we're definitely going to touch on that subject because I think mental health is not talked about as much as it should.
Okay.
And I see myself doing that with my kids, right? Like even right now, and like Jeremiah's about to be 4 in November. Junior's he's already 6, about to turn 7 in July. And I try to talk to them as grown adults. I try to understand their feelings.
For sure.
And so for me, man, like once my mom was going through that, I didn't know how to cope with it. I didn't know where to go. And so like the first thing I did was I reached out to somebody that I work with. I'm not going to say his name because they're still in the military. They're still doing things.
Yeah.
And I reached out to someone who I thought was like, they were above me. And I was like, you know what? At this time, I'm in E5 now. So I'm a second class in the Navy. I reached out to a first class. And I'm like, hey, man, because they teach you, right? Go to the next person above you. And I was like, hey, I've been drinking like 4 days straight. By this time, I have a cast on my right arm. I've been drinking for 4 days. I don't know what's wrong mentally with me. I'm trying. I woke up that morning and I talked to Rachel and I was like, hey, like, I don't know what's going on. Something's affecting me. I think I know it's my mom and her cirrhosis, but I don't know how to cope with that. I don't know how to deal with it.
Right. So you're turning to drinking.
Right. And so like, I started drinking because drinking makes you forget everything. Drinking makes you forget the pain. If you're drinking, when you're sad and someone breaks up with you,
we did at Ali's Drive-In.
Right.
I don't remember, but they're sponsoring, so it wasn't that bad.
Exactly.
Like, I didn't sleep with anybody there.
Here's the worst. Here's the worst thing, man. Like I resorted to something that I saw when I was younger. Everyone resort to.
Which was
alcohol. Right.
Okay.
My uncle broke up with his girlfriend. Alcohol.
My
mom is mad as that. Alcohol.
Okay,
so on and so on. Alcohol. So I went to alcohol. That's what I saw.
But when you told the person I'm an alcoholic, like I'm drinking profusely, they were just like.
It was like. Yeah. Okay, meet me at it's called Tim Hortons. We call it Timmy Ho's. Meet me at Tim Hortons on Norfolk Base.
Yes.
We're going to talk about it. And I'm like, okay, good. I'll
get somewhere. And so you guys talk about it.
We talk about it. And he goes, all right, man, let me tell you what I do when I drink. Because now I'm realizing that he's an alcoholic as well.
Okay.
So he's like, I give my wife the keys. And I can't drive to go get beer. And I was like, oh, that's cool. But I live down the street. I live down the street from a store.
Yeah.
So if I give my wife the keys, I know I can walk.
You can walk to Ali's Drive-In and get some ice cold beer from their big freezer.
There you go. You can walk to Ali's. And in my case, in Norfolk, it was like a 7-Eleven.
Yeah.
So once you realize, okay, well, that's not going to work. He's like, well, what if you just drink 12 beers and that's it? I was like, no, you're not listening to me.
Yeah.
Every time that I pick up something, like, I'm going to go 100 miles an hour.
Okay.
Because I want to forget and I don't want to feel.
You want to forget what's going on. Right. Yeah, for sure.
And then little by little, I started realizing that, okay, he's not here to talk to me about me. He's here to talk to me about how I can continue to be productive for the military, for the Navy, for our job, for our aspect.
Yes.
And once I started picking up on that, then I was like, okay, this isn't.
And in respect, he was being desensitized to your personal issue.
Right. And so for me, it was like, okay, well, once I caught wind of that, once I catch wind of somebody not wanting to, not listening to me in my most vulnerable moment,
you're done.
I'm like, okay, that's it.
You're done.
And I tell him, I was like, you know what? That's cool. That's it. This conversation didn't go where I thought. He's like, okay, that's cool. But I let our chief, everybody in the Navy is going to know, like, the chief mess is like a E7 and above. So I'm in E5, and there's E6s, which are first classes. And then once you get into the E7, E8, and E9, they become chiefs, senior chiefs, and master chiefs. And like, even at that level, man, like, it was so toxic because the people that were in those positions for me to seek help were also in my job, and they were my leadership.
Okay.
So then once they caught wind that I was having issues, it almost put me to the side. Like, I felt like they were putting me to the side.
Yeah.
And said, hey, if you don't want to do this anymore, you don't have to do this anymore. Just go.
Okay.
Become someone else's issue.
Yeah.
So then what did I do? I immediately ran and I left that job.
Yeah.
And I became someone else's issue. Right. And once I became somebody else's issue, I'm like, okay, I'm on the upside, right? Like, I got rid the people that weren't listening to me, that didn't believe what was going on or didn't even want to help me out. Like, I'm away from them. So I thought that was a positive.
Right.
And then I come here to Texas. I go to San Antonio. I go to this school. And my first week there, I got kicked out on a Friday.
Wow.
Yep. And I can speak openly about this because there's people that are still in the Navy that will support me and back me 100%.
Yeah, for
man.
sure.
Mm-hmm. Once I got there, man, I guess there was this rule in fine print that was like, you can't go 15 miles outside of San Antonio. And at that time, I hadn't seen my family about a year, a year and a half.
I mean, so you're a few hours
I'm like,
away.
I'm in San Antonio, so I'm like, I'm just going to go home. And I'm not doing nothing bad. Let me tell you,
right.
we were coming, as a matter of fact, it was around this time because I remember the fair. I drove from San Antonio, picked up my family. We went to the fair. Got to the fair. I get a call. They're like, hey, where you at? I'm like, who is this? And they're like, you need to be back in San Antonio like within 5 minutes. 5 minutes,
bitch. I'm in Waco. Like, it ain't gonna be no 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm like, no, it ain't gonna be 5 minutes. It's gonna be 2 hours. Like, hey, you're supposed to have watched 10 minutes ago. I'm like, hold on, because I'm considered now what's a fleet returnee, right? Like who's been in the Navy. I go to a school where people were coming out of boot camp. They still have certain rules, and it was like, hey, fleet returnees have no rules. You just need to show up Monday through Friday, do what they do. You guys will be good. That was presented to us. And so what did I do? On Friday, I go home, right? And Saturday, Sunday, I spend time with my family. Go back on Monday.
For sure.
Dude, I got that call, man, and I was like sweating bullets because I was like, fuck, man. Like, I've never done anything to get in trouble. Yeah. Now here I am potentially about to get in trouble. Because when you get in trouble by the Navy,
that's it.
Dude, they'll take your pay.
Yeah.
And at that time, I was the only one working.
Okay.
You know, my wife, Rachel, was going to school at that time. I was the only one working, and so here I am in this predicament. Like, they're about to stop my pay. I'm going to get deducted in rank. Like, it just sucked. Yeah. And when I tried fighting for myself, for the truth, and I was like, hey, when we came here, you know, the people in charge of us told us that we didn't have to do that. But now you're saying, who was in charge of them, saying we had to do that.
Right.
And so I had to go meet this lieutenant. I had to go meet this lady who's in charge of the training.
Yeah.
And, dude, the guy lied. And he lied in front of me to her to make himself seem like he had put the rules out. Like, he said, hey, I told these guys they couldn't do that.
Right.
And I'm sitting there looking, I'm like, dude, I'm not a liar, man. I can't sit there and lie to someone in their face.
For sure.
And he actually did that. He lied to my face and said, I told you couldn't leave. You had to be here.
Yeah.
You know, blase. And I'm like, no, you did not.
Yeah.
And then I showed that lady my text messages with the other fleet returnees that have been in the Navy.
Okay.
And they were like, yo, we had no clue. We had no idea. I showed her the proof. She was like, well, I think you're lying. She took that guy's side. And from there, man, I got kicked out of that school.
Okay. So you were done.
Dude, and I'm like, okay, you know what? I left the other place because I became someone's issue. I got here. I just went home.
Right.
I came back immediately when they told me
still problems.
And still problems. And so then I said, you know what? That's cool, because there was like a little clause in the contract that was like, if you fail to convert, to a new job, then you can just get out of the Navy.
So that's what happened.
So I would say, okay, hey, it says this in the verbiage. I'm going to get out the Navy. Boom. So I went to this class to get out. And then on the last week, that was supposed to be my last day in the military.
Good thing he reads the contracts, by the way. You have to read the contracts, guys.
Yeah, read the contracts.
Read the contracts.
Read the contracts because I still got tied into a year and a half.
Okay.
I still got tied into a year and a half.
Okay.
When I left, I was like, okay, I'm ready to get out. I'm in San Antonio. Waco's about 2 hours away. It doesn't make it that difficult. Me and my wife are good. 2 hours.
I hate when people lie about the length of a commute, Christian. Right? It's 3 hours. Shut up.
Okay, 3 hours.
It's 2 hours to Houston, 3 hours to San Antonio. Okay.
Hold on. 2 hours to Houston, 3 hours to San Antonio?
2 hours to Austin, 3 hours. I said that wrong. Okay.
Okay. No, but so and so that's what it was, man. It became a I was like, okay, I'm ready to get out.
Yeah.
I'm here in San Antonio. Waco's right there.
You're going home.
We're close.
Yeah.
And then when this lady called me and she was like, hey, I have some news to break. I was like, okay, what is it? She's like, I sent that verbiage and everything up to the highest person that you can send it to.
For sure.
And they said, no, you still have a year and a half left to complete.
Okay, so you had to fulfill your year and a half.
So from there, it was like...
Well, did they breach contract at that point, do you think?
Dude, you know, in the military, again, it's difficult because, like, nobody cares more about you than you. So, like... If you go out seeking for help, you got to understand, man, everybody's just there to get an easy paycheck.
Okay.
You're going to find people very rarely that will help you out. I was one of those few people that would help people out.
Absolutely.
And so for me, man, once it was such a it was such a fucking bummer because I thought I was about to be out.
Yeah.
My family was like 2 hours in reach.
They were right there.
And I was like, man, I'm about to get out.
And you have a year and a half left.
Dude, and then they said year and a half left. You're going back to
I
Norfolk.
got you.
On top of that, we're going to put you on a ship.
Oh, wow.
On a
like
a
in the ocean.
Navy
in the ocean.
Ship.
Yeah.
You know, and let me tell you, man.
With fucking Free Willy and shit. Dude, get out of here. Yeah.
Coming from like the aviation side of the Navy where you don't really see ships and you don't stay on ships, right? I was like, holy fuck, man. This is going to be a huge fucking shock.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, dude, I dreaded it, dude. I dreaded it and I dreaded it. And I was like, oh, and this is where the mental health issue came in. Because I was like, fuck, dude, like, what am I going to do? Like, I was drinking heavy.
Yeah.
Like, I was talking to Rachel. And I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do. I have no idea how that life is. And man, that life, what I've heard sucks.
Yeah, for sure.
Fucking sucks. And trust me, man, I got the shit in the stick. And my last year and a half in the Navy, it fucking sucked.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad that I had the friends around me to go through that suck with. And dude, and I'm telling you, man, like,
that suck with?
We sucked together.
Everybody sucked together.
Yeah. Dude, it's not gay if it's underway, man. I'm telling you, man. And
I'm joining the Navy.
Join the Navy, bro. I'm telling you, man. It's not gay if it's underway. But,
yeah.
Man, I had really good friends, man. Really good friends that I met. I got put in a position where, like, I could talk to everybody, help people, and do everything.
So you guys were all there for each other.
And that's what, dude. And we used to stay up until, like, dude, when I say, like, 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
Like, we worked from 7 to 7.
Okay.
On top of that, we stayed up late to just talk about our own goals and what we wanted because we knew that we had like about a year in the Navy left.
So y'all were all each other's support system.
Dude, like, man, when I say that, like, in the military, you like your battle buddy. I know that sounds gay as fuck for like all the vets, but like your battle buddy, like the friends that you make, and like everybody that's going through the suck with you.
Yeah,
like you appreciate them so much more because you're like, man, like when I leave my wife and my kids.
Yeah.
I'm going to see this guy and that guy longer than I have seen my wife this month.
Got you.
And so, man, like, shout out to Michael Manzo and Ian Epping, man. Those guys are my best friends. And also Anthony Harper. Like, we plan so much, man. And we dream so much.
So that was like your Klingon to battle with the issues that you were dealing with.
Right, exactly. Was them.
Okay.
Right, exactly. And I moved. I was still drinking.
Yeah.
But I became a functional alcoholic.
Okay.
Right? Like I can drink all day long, and then I can still wake up at like 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Go to work, show up on time, be there before everybody else.
Do your thing.
Do my thing. Do my work thing. And then when I go home from work, I'm like, hey, hon, I'm going to stop at the store and buy a 12-pack. Do you need anything?
Yeah.
Let me get some Cheetos and some Skittles.
Yeah,
okay, cool.
From Ali's Drive.
And then from there, dude, I grab my 12-pack.
That's it.
Brushing. Yeah. And then I wake up again 4 in the morning. And I was like, okay, cool.
And you're doing your thing.
Doing my own thing, man. Functional alcoholic in the military. Never got in trouble except for I got kicked out that school.
Yeah.
Never showed up late. Never done anything.
Right. And then you ultimately get discharged.
Right.
Honorably discharged.
So honorably discharged. So July 4th could not have came any sooner this year. Me and my wife had been dreaming about.
My birthday's July 3rd. We can celebrate.
Damn. Yeah. That's dope. That's fucking dope. Dude.
I know it is. I'm dope too.
That's the day that like I fucking left. And like I got dude, I'm telling you, whenever they assign my leave to say, hey, you can use the days that you've earned. Yeah. And they've said, hey, you can. The days that I've earned.
Yeah.
You can use that. I was like, holy fuck, man. Like so much weight was lifted on my shoulders.
That's it.
Like, dude, we had a hotel from like, was it July maybe 2nd to like the 5th?
Yeah.
Because we weren't sure. But once they said, hey, you can leave, you're good, go.
That's it.
Dude.
Full on slutation, party. Yes.
I'm telling you, but if you think that there's no party or no slutation or no nothing.
Oh, honey, please don't play with me.
I'm telling you, man.
Please don't play with me. Yeah. Dude, them DL military, man.
I've seen married people go to different countries.
Yeah.
Get with someone else in their command or who they work with.
Yeah.
Become buddy, and then go back home, come back to the States, and then go back to their marriage.
Oh, but that's Waco. That's the town. Yeah, these guys go back to their wives. I said that. I said that. You know, I'm a big secret keeper. You know what, Christian? God, I hate that we're running out of time. But you know, I did want to talk to you about a couple of more things. You know, gays in the military. You know what I mean? I know that was a controversial subject back in the day. Did you meet any gays in the military?
I will say that I've met I've met gay individuals that were in the Navy with me.
And did they try to sleep with you?
No.
Okay.
But I will tell you that I've known gay people in the military.
Yeah.
But I've worked with someone. His name is Jordan Wright.
Shout out
Sky
Jordan.
Wright. Shout out to Jordan. He was the first gay individual that I had to work with, like sitting next to each other.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, like we're out underway. We're out to sea for about 3 weeks. And so I'm seeing this guy for 3 weeks.
Sign me up.
but the crazy thing was like he taught me what I was like what I was just I guess what I was blinded to.
Okay.
Like what gay individuals go through.
Yeah.
He told me his life story.
Okay.
And I was like, man, like, dude, that's tough. You know what I mean? Like that sucks. But
yeah,
like,
for sure.
You're here, you're doing stuff that like, you know, not every person can do. And you're still struggling because like he's gay, right?
Yeah,
He was sleeping with individuals and everything. And it becomes a little difficult, but he taught me a lot about himself. He taught me a lot about myself. And so that was the first person I ever worked with. And like to this day, I still have Jordan's back and I will forever have his back. He worked with me and like, dude, like,
did you have a different perspective on gays after meeting Jordan?
No, because I've had gay friends before. I think when we had our meeting, I had mentioned like I think the first gay person
I don't remember.
He don't remember.
I don't remember.
But I think the first gay person that I met was Cece.
Oh, Cece, we love Cece.
Yes.
She was on the show. Yeah,
Cece
was
the first person. Was the first person that I met. And then Cece, I mean, Cece bartended at bars, and so like I'd go to these bars, and Cece would be, "Hey, Cece, how are you doing?" I've always treated everyone with respect. You know, I don't care where you come from because the military has made me so like, just like I don't care where you come from because I can work with anybody.
Got you.
But I think Cece for me was like the first person that I met.
Yes.
And then from there, man, it was just like, I don't care what anybody does. Like, even still to this day, like, I don't care what you do.
You're doing
man.
you, yeah.
You do you, enjoy life, live life, because you only got one to live, man.
As long as we ain't trying to get in them jeans.
Dude, I can guarantee you two things. I can guarantee you the day that you were born, and I can guarantee you that you're going to die. And if you enjoy life in between those times, man. For sure. Dude, life becomes a lot better.
Yes. Well, Christian, goddamn, I wish that we had 5 hours, but we are running out of time. You know, I will end with this. Do you have regrets joining the military?
Oh, no, man. I don't have regrets for doing anything that I did. I'm glad I did it. I got the thorn out. I will say that, again, the Navy is not a bad thing. This is just my experience. This is just what I experienced. I try to tell individuals that, like, if you're thinking about joining the military, please hit me up, man. Okay. Like, I am an
So you would encourage it?
Dude, I would encourage it with the truth. Yeah. I will give you my truth. Yes. Because if somebody would have gave me my truth when I was going, I probably would have thought about it twice. And I would never stop anybody from serving, man. Right. Like, you learn a lot about yourself, and then you learn to work with others. Like, there's a lot more to it. But I will say that if you have any questions about joining, if something is on your mind about it, please reach out to me, man. Like, I'm an open. I try and tell people reach out to me all the time, but I think people are afraid to just ask the question. They're like, "Hey, man, I'm nervous of being yelled at. How do I deal with that?" Yeah. Okay, that's a normal thing.
But you want to promote a sense of advocacy to join the military, because at the end of the day, these people that join the military, they do a service for us. You know what I mean? For this country, to defend this country and everything. So even with your negative experience with them being desensitized to your alcoholism, your depression, you know, there was a story of suicide that went on. Which I, for the respect of the family, I just. Yeah. You know what I mean? But you know, with all that going on, you would still encourage somebody to do so, but this is what goes on behind the scenes?
Yeah, I would definitely give everybody like just my experience, like the positive and the negatives. I would never make the negatives more than the positive just to stop someone. I would give someone the absolute truth, just so that way they go in there knowing that like you know, this is what happens. But I also don't want to ruin it for someone. For sure. And then the one thing that you talk about, the suicide, man, like that was tough because, you know, saving someone from suicide, like I've never dealt with that. Right, for sure. And so knowing that, like, I was put in that position and I dealt with it and like it was okay. I was like, you know, till this day, man, homeboy is okay. He's doing. He's good. He's good. He got out, thankfully.
For sure. That's just touchy for me. Yeah,
man. No, I definitely get that. But But I would again. I
big shout out to him. Though. I'm glad you did that. Yeah, for sure. You know, and he was in the military too. So
he was. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So with all being said, with your negative experience and everything going on, so you would still encourage somebody to do so. You would just tell them about your story. You know, you want to promote advocacy within joining the military and everything. You know, what's going on with your life now, Christian? So you were a financial advisor. Now you're not doing that anymore. You just got. You were discharged honorably from the military. So what are we doing now, Christian? What's going on before we wrap up?
So me and Rachel, like our finances and generational wealth became very important to us.
For sure.
And so I wanted to pursue that career in being a financial advisor because I thought like, you know, I was so
I'm gonna pull the mic to you closer. There you go.
I was so naive to the fact that like when someone needs help, you can't make them like you can take a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink it.
Exactly.
So I was like, I know you need help. Let me help you understand that I'm trying to help you. Like, and that's where my frustration was growing because I like the first people that I went for was like everybody in my Facebook.
Okay, got you.
And
yeah, because you called me,
dude. And I was so. But here's the thing, though. I was so naive because I was in the military for 8 years.
Yeah.
So people that I was reaching out to, they hadn't seen me in like 8 years plus.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so me reaching out to people, like I attacked it with the sense of knowing like they could potentially think that this is like spam, you know, some like type of like scam them or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I really wanted to come off as personable, but I really tried to attack the people. I'm not even gonna say attack. That is the worst word.
He called me. I looked up his Facebook and I was like, oh, he's hot. I'm definitely calling him back.
Well, yeah. So it was more like I knew you had a podcast, right? And I was like, okay, well, I want to get to Andrew because I know Andrew has like many connections.
Yes.
And so once I got to you, you know, as open and as nice as you were, like I was really surprised. Because I'm sitting in my apartment in Norfolk, and I'm sitting at this like kitchen table, and I'm fucking black, and I'm like, man, I'm trying to figure out like how can I have an income coming in by the time that I separate from the Navy? So you know, I was watching your podcast, and I saw your podcast, and then when I called you, man, to just be taken back from how like down to earth you were. You had no clue who I was.
Official. I was just official. Like I am with everybody.
And I'm telling you, man, like
I was playing Nintendo when you called me.
Andrew was himself.
Yes, in my underwears.
He was himself. and like I said, man, like I think that's real cool of you, man, because
thank you.
I've always told you, and I told you over the phone, I was like, you give people like me a voice.
Yes.
That's struggling through stuff that maybe people didn't even know that I was struggling with.
Yeah.
But you're the voice for us, and you're the voice for like Waco, for just someone every day like us to just come out and come on the podcast and explain our issues. Because people can look at me and be like, man, high school, man, this guy was good at soccer, but they didn't know that I was struggling.
That you were struggling
so much more, right? Because it was still like there's like domestic violence, and there was so much more that you get into, man. And I went to Coach Chapman.
Yes.
And the reason why I want to say this is because Coach Chapman played an important in my life in my role because I never broke down in front of anyone. And the first person that I broke down in front of was Coach Chapman.
Okay.
And I called him and I was like, hey, Coach, like he was in my Avid class. I was a senior. He came out. And dude, like I broke down crying and he's like, what's going on? And I'm like, my mom's an alcoholic. You know,
Dad's dying.
And like dad was like dying, like, you know, and how do I deal with this? I'm supposed to be this high performing athlete, and what am I doing? You know, and then like, dude, like he cried with me. You know, Coach Chapman, you know, as tough as he was very sentimental, and like he cried with me, and he's like, what can I do to help you? And I was like, well, I don't ever want to be taken away from my family, but it's just this was the cards that I was given was alcoholism, domestic violence.
Right. And he helped you get through all that.
Dude, and also mental health, man. Because when I was in high school, dude, not like there was never a time that I didn't think about killing myself. Wow. When I was in high school. Wow. But so to be like,
because of everything that was going on.
Because of everything that was going on. And I was like, man, like my life fucking sucks. Dude. Yeah. And to this day, man, like I wear this watch, dude, but if I take off this watch, man, like it literally hides the scars from where
when you were cutting
yourself. I tried to kill myself.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, dude. And so that's something that like only Rachel knows, but like I'm willing to share with you and especially your podcast, because mental health is very serious, and I contemplated suicide like at a very early age.
Right.
And I always like, dude, I would think like, man, I'm in high school. Like I did the You remember at Midway University did those car crashes?
Yes. Because I went to Midway.
Dreams. What's it called?
I can't remember what it's called, but they did the mock car crashes with the drinking and driving.
So actually, my senior year, I was a part of one.
You were part of that. Okay.
Yeah, and so I was the one that died in a car crash. And so, like, dude, like, struggling with my mental health and then seeing how people would react.
Yeah.
If I was, like, it completed the circle for me.
I got you.
But I never took it that far to take my life. And so, dude, like, it's just, dude, mental health is a struggle.
We've talked about it on this show. I have to give a shout out to Dominic Villa, who was probably one of the first guests that I've had on this show, who comes from South Waco, Latin American guy, who touched on mental health, and you're doing so as well. You guys are from the same area of the city. You know what I mean? Christian, would you say life is going good for you now, though? I mean, you're a father of 2 boys. Yep. You're married to a beautiful wife. You know what I mean? So how's life for you now? Dude, what's next for you?
So, like I said, life for me has changed because after doing 8 years in the military, I can proudly say that I am a 100% disabled veteran.
Yes.
So I will be retired from this point forward.
Yes.
So I will I will get a check every month.
Yeah.
And it puts me in a weird predicament because it's now I'm in control of my life.
Okay.
Right? So now I get to do what I want to do.
For sure.
Right? So I enrolled into UTA.
Okay.
I said, you know what? I want to get a bachelor's in communication.
There you go.
Because again, I feel like just everything that I've been through has been through a lack of communication.
Okay.
So it just seemed right to go to school for communication.
Okay.
So now I get to go to school. I get paid for going to school. I also get paid for now being a 100% disabled veteran.
Okay.
And so now, like, I feel like I'm in control of my life. I've now expanded to this is like my first drink of alcohol. Besides like yesterday, right? We went to a pumpkin patch out in Dallas. But like I had one beer.
Yeah.
That's literally what I had. But like now I'm into the whole CBD and THC. And I wish that like every veteran or everyone in the service could at least try it because man, like the drastic change from drinking alcohol to just doing a CBD gummy to just even like smoking flower that's not even real THC, dude. I'm saying, man, like this is all legal, dude, and like it helps me out so much with like my anxiety, with my depression, and I'm a whole completely different person because now I get to be a father to my kids.
That's what's
and
up.
I think that's 100% like the only thing that I ever wanted was just be a father to my kids.
Well, Christian, God, I'm so sorry that we're out of time. I wish that we can go on for 5 hours. Like I tell all my other guys, take that last gulp of that mimosa, darling. Okay, so you are a full-time. You need more?
We always need more.
Well, listen, we are wrapping up, Christian. Okay. Okay, so
I will not be wrapping it up.
Not with me, at least. All right.
All right. Not with Andrew.
Not with Andrew. Okay. He's got a wife. She tried to fight me. All right, guys. Listen, Christian, I enjoyed having you on The Public Affair. Okay.
Thanks, man.
And big shout out to Rachel. Big shout out to you. Unbeknownst to everything that you went through in the military, you seem like you still have a really good head on your shoulders. You seem like you're just trying to get your life together. And, so you're a full-time student now. I just wish the best for you, honestly, in the future. I think that you're a great dad. You're a great person. Everything that you went through in terms of, your dad's illness, what your mom went through mentally, everything that you went through in the military, you still were able to overcome all of that. And you're still like the great guy that you are today and that we all know you to be. You're a father of 2 children. You're married. Big kudos to you.
No, for sure, man. And I appreciate that, man, because I do realize that, it does take a lot to be a father. And I will tell, every day I will give praise to my wife, Rachel, because that's someone who I can listen to, that I can talk to and say, hey, I'm struggling. Yeah. And she will do anything and everything in her power to make sure that I'm not feeling a certain type of way.
Now, I'm not triggering you with the mimosas, am I?
No.
Please don't. Okay, because I'll take that shit right back from you, all right?
No, not at all. Negative. Because Rachel's going to come pick me up. But I do have to just give a special shout out to Rachel because I'm telling you, man, she's been with me through my worst. And when I say worst, man, like... Dude, like I've been like bad, bro.
You have a solid woman behind you.
Yeah, I've been bad, and it took us to break up, right? To then realize to get back with each other when I was in the military, like we were perfect for each other. You know what I mean? And we to this day, we're still good. And to this day, man, I don't know how she does it.
Yeah.
But she deals with 3 boys.
She's sticking with her mans. What you talking about?
She deals with 3 boys.
Take notes, bitch.
I'm saying, man, all I want to do is be a good father to my sons and just raise them with no regrets. And I want to just be the dad that maybe I felt I never had. You know what I mean? Or maybe that we feel that we never had. Like, I want to understand my son and talk to him. But
you know what? This was a very vulnerable episode for you, and I really appreciate you coming on again. I wish that we had 5 hours. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Christian, I sure do appreciate you coming on to the Public Affair. I know our first meeting was more turned up. You know what I mean? And we visited without the mimosas. You know what I mean? And both of us are drunk, slutty messes right now. Okay.
A little bit.
Yeah, okay. He might go home and have a 3rd son. But you know what, Christian, unbeknownst to all of that, I truly appreciate you coming on to the show, telling us a little bit about your story, your time in the military. If you guys need some advice in terms of joining the military, you can, of course, reach out to Christian Lugo. He's just your average Joe here from South Waco. Right now, he's living in Dallas. You know, you're a student full-time. And whatever you ever need from me in the Public Affair, please reach out. We got you.
Dude,
and by we, I mean me, because it's just me.
Dude, I really appreciate that. And I really want everyone at home to know that I told Andrew this when we had the business meeting, but really, man, Andrew is a voice for us.
Thank you. Oh.
You know, we should all really, appreciate Andrew and what he does, because the dedication that he has to this podcast is unmatched to anyone that I've ever spoke to before.
Well, Christian, thank you.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Thank you. Somebody called me a leader in the Hispanic community the other day. I replied and said I'm just a slut. So, but I'm glad that they view me in a leadership position. Yeah. I'm very glad that we had the opportunity to meet on this. Well, we'll talk more on this show. And, this definitely is due for a part 2 here in the future, because there was more that we could touch on. Unfortunately, we are out of time, you guys. So thank you again so much for watching this episode of The Public Affair. Christian, thank you so much for coming through all the way from Dallas, Texas. Dallas.
Dallas.
Right? Technically Dallas. Okay.
Technically.
Best of luck to everything for you in the future. Big shout out to your wife. Any last minute shout outs you want to give out before we wrap up?
No, that's it. I just want to give a big shout out to everyone that has been there for me. When I played select soccer, there was a family that really looked out for me. They paid for me to play select soccer because my parents couldn't. And that's going to be Terry Newberry and her husband, Byron Newberry. And basically, like I said, Coach Chapman, man, and everybody who's been there with me. And I apologize again if I've ever, I just disappeared out of nowhere and now I'm back. But, seriously, if you need anything from me, please reach out, whether it's military related or not. Again, Andrew is very dedicated to what he does. And this is not scripted. I promise you. He did not say, Christian, you need to say this. But I say this because I believe this. And, Andrew, again, is very dedicated to his podcast. And he gives a voice to people like us. And if you're not supporting him, then you're fucking wrong.
Oh, Christian, darling, stop. You're going to make me cry. All right. Well, Christian, I appreciate your kind words. Thank you so much for coming on to The Public Affair. For everybody that tuned in, thank you guys so much for watching and liking this episode. Don't forget to subscribe as well and share it. Of course, I've got more on the way, and I definitely want to use this opportunity to give a shout out to just a few more of our sponsors of this episode of The Public Affair. This episode is brought to you by Soka Soccer Academy with Dominic Gutierrez and Ariana Gutierrez, located at 3304 Franklin Avenue. They offer team, small group, and individual skills training, darling. They also have elite skills training to make your kid a superb star athlete with after-school programs and, of course, holiday programs as well to keep those kids busy. They have open play on Mondays and Wednesdays for ages 16 and older at 8:30 p.m. with Morrow, a.k.a. Christian. I call him Silly Buns because he's a little ferocious and he's a Silly Buns. Only $5 to play. Follow on Facebook at Soka Soccer Academy and on Instagram at Soka Soccer 254. Soka Soccer Academy, thank you guys so much for all you do for me in The Public Affair. Of course, the Montezuma Boxing with Edward Barragan. They're a boxing gym dedicated to train you to be a superb boxer. And of course, to get into shape, they offer walk-in workout classes at 5:30 a.m. and 7:30 p.m. And of course, sign up for their boxing classes, darling, to improve that hand-to-eye coordination and overall better physical condition. Montezuma is training champions, darling. Call them on the screen to follow on Facebook at Montezuma Boxing with Edward Barragan. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, the Vias Transportation LLC with Pelon Villa and Yasmin Landeros. They provide power-only services locally and over the road at an affordable rate. They also move freight in a dry van, such as box items, palleted materials, most retail dry goods, and more. They also provide hot shot services now, darling. They're independently owned. Call the number on the screen today for more information to Vias Transportation LLC with Pelon Villa and Yasmin Landeros. Thank you guys so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to my girl Sonia's event planning and rentals with Sonia Childers. She's an event planner that specializes in weddings, quinceañeras, baby showers, corporate events, and so much more. Now, she's booked and busy. She's appointments only, darling. Take the stress out of planning your event off your shoulders by reaching out to her for a consultation at shoulders1994@yahoo.com or call the number on the screen to Sonia's event planning and rentals with Sonia Childers. Thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. Of course, to Pollo Box and Audio with Jeffrey Monreal, home for all your LED needs and auto accessories, installation of stereos, door speakers, and audio systems. He also specializes in building custom subwoofer enclosures and much more. Definitely your jack of all trades and your one-stop shop to get everything done in one roof. Now, you know Jeffrey put those stars in my roof in my car. Absolutely gorgeous. It's sexy. Jeffrey Monreal is modding your car, pimping your ride. Jeffrey, thank you so much for your longtime sponsorship of The Public Affair. And of course, the Fat Boy Michelada Botana with your boy Junior Banda, who provides the best Michelada Botana plates for yourself or for a party with a menu of a ton of different items, including Botana bowls, chamois, pickles, and more, locally operated. So make sure you get the best and not the rest. You order enough, he's going to deliver to you as well. Follow on Facebook and Instagram at Fatboy Michelada Botana and place your orders now. To Junior Banda with Fatboy Michelada Botana, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode of The Public Affair. I truly, truly appreciate you, bro. Of course, to everybody that tuned into this episode of The Public Affair, thank you guys again so much. To Christian Lugo, I only wish that we only had 5 hours. I really wish that we had 5 hours, but thank you again so much for your candidness, your openness, for being so real with us, keeping it official with us. Thank you so much, and it was so great finally having you on the show. If you guys ever need any advice in terms of joining the military or anything, if you need a shoulder to lean on, hit up my boy Christian Lugo. He's been through it all, and he's got you. And to everybody else that tuned into this episode, don't forget, darling, to always keep it between us.
This has been a Rogue Media podcast.
Are you a podcaster? Let's talk podcast hosting. Are you tired of your current podcast host? Need real support in a community that gets it? At Rogue Media Network, we offer top-tier podcast hosting services to help you thrive. From hosting and distribution to dedicated support, we've got you covered. Starting as low as $25 a month. Join our community of passionate podcasters today. Contact us at hello@roguemedianetwork.com.